Welcome back to Sonic Frontiers. We are in the end game now. It's just a really long and drawn out end game.
I
So
completely forgot this track existed, and it's kind of badass.
it's all right.
I like it. Shut you. Fuck you. I like it. Well, we got chorus now.
We finally get past the invisible wall on Kronos Island, and it's somehow a different island, I guess.
Don't worry about that.
Yeah, this is really where we start seeing the cracks in the surface, and by in the surface I mean these are some big ass fucking caverns in this game's development. Yeah.
Yeah, but this is still gameplay wise like the peak of Sonic Frontiers, I think.
Yeah, who'd have thunk just straight platforming for really fast for an entire, like, I don't know, 30 minutes would be, fun.
Yeah, this also goes on for a while, so I'll still I will take that as proof that Sonic Heroes having long levels is not a problem, and people
Okay,
should stop complaining about
it's bad in Heroes because it's just copy pasted over and over.
it. Yeah.
It's like you play the same level chunks at least 3 times per stage in that game. But
Yeah.
I mean, this is just
You
using
do it so much, your head spins.
the stock generic platforming elements that are in every open zone area. So I guess it's not that different.
Yeah, but when you have this many chained together, it feels like a stage. You know?
Yeah, I can see that.
And like a lot of these are way more difficult than any you'll find out in the wild.
Oh yeah, the ones out in the wild are generally just there. Like they offer
You're
no
still getting
real.
a tutorial on wall climbing.
It keeps popping up for some reason. It might be because I have the Hedge mod manager loaded.
I hope that's fixed then.
It should be fixed by now.
I
This
was finally
like
playing this a bit more few days ago, and yeah, I played for like 20 minutes. I was trying out some of the new stuff. I don't know how much I like the action chains though.
they are very repetitive. I was fun the first one, and learning how to get the S ranks on those was pretty neat. But you do that like freaking 15 times per open zone. It's just repetitive, like a lot of this game.
Yeah. Back on this is kind of the closest I think this game has to feeling like a Generations or Unleashed level,
Yeah,
where you're just always moving. You're doing back to back, either button presses or pure platforming, and it gives me the same rush as playing a Unleashed or Gens level.
despite not feeling quite as good still.
No, they don't. But this, to me, is the hope that if they ever make original stages for cyberspace with this game's entire engine and movement system in mind, you could have some really good stages.
Yeah, as long as
Also,
they
this
don't.
music is amazing.
Yeah, I was just gonna say as long as they don't do the thing that they did in this game where they're just like, yeah, cyberspace, we're gonna make control like complete garbage compared to the open zone. Just have the open zone gameplay in
I do that a
cyberspace.
lot. That's really easy to do on this game.
Yeah,
You can also do it easily in Unleashed, but not as catastrophic and as often as you can here.
yeah.
There's like a few points on Unleashed where when the rail curves and you jump, you'll die, but that's about it.
This
I love the save me in this system, or in this game, just being, hopefully you can air dash in the direction you want and get a homing attack in.
Yeah. Well, that's the since the air dash, since the air boost, I guess, in this, it sends you at an upward angle. It's like really good for that in this game in particular.
Yeah, I don't know if I want it to return for other games, but if they do, I do want it to keep going upwards, because I like that little upward boost you get.
I
It feels
kind
very
of
nice for some of the platforming.
I kind of would prefer it if it's more like I can't believe I'm saying this. but the Force's air dash or air boost, which is dependent on the angle that you're moving vertically. Yeah. So you can get like those big vertical upward boosts, but you can also go like at a downward angle, and it gives you more variety. Someone's already modded that into this game.
Yeah, and it just feels like Sonic's willing himself to go upwards.
Yep, he is trying to ascend to the next realm, but he can't. Gravity's still holding him down.
He's trying to get to the ether in Minecraft, but he doesn't have any mods for it.
Yeah. And so anyways, lore. Yeah.
Is this the first time Dark Gaia comes out?
No,
that'd be cool.
That is the Chaos People's home planet getting annihilated.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yep. And also this in Frontiers they say this stuff was like tens of thousands of years ago. Meanwhile, the stuff with Dark Gaia and everything happens every couple million years is what it says. So that to me says.
Then why are the Chaos Emeralds so well linked to Dark Gaia?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I was gonna say. The only real explanation for that is that the Chaos Emeralds come to our planet and go to other planets just whenever, I guess.
They come and go as they please, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe they come here to do a recharge with the Master Emerald, assuming the Master Emerald's always here.
Yeah. Or maybe the Master Emerald, being the controller, just calls them back to the planet whenever they're needed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This is real quick. I want to get back to this topic, but like, Sage just randomly turns blue and glitches. And I thought that was supposed to be like her, feeling conflicted about wanting to help Sonic. And I figured that once they teamed up, she would fully switch to the blue colors. But then that never happened, so it's just kind of her glitching, and it's weird.
She's fully blue when she's Supreme. She's in the Supreme mech.
Is she?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, you see the cutscene where, like, spoilers for the end of the game, but, it's been a year. But when, Supersonic, Supreme chucks Supersonic through the end, and it doesn't work, we get, like, an inside shot of Sage, and where she goes, like, no! She's fully blue there the whole time.
Okay.
And Supreme itself is also the same blue color, so I took that as, like, yeah, she's no longer, she's like in full control of it, and good. So
nice height.
Yeah, that's like that's the one thing from the physics that actually makes sense.
I was gonna say on lore Chaos Emerald lore. I wonder if when they returned here, eventually the Echidnas found them through their link with the Master Emerald. And then
probably
when they found them, they probably found someone from the ancient people there who hid in the Master Emerald. Or perhaps the Echidnas didn't even find it, and the Chaos person found the Master Emerald and linked with it, because Chaos came from somewhere.
Chaos was a creature that got sealed in the Master Emerald when a bunch of shit went down with the Echidnas.
Yeah, but like, it's
Chaos
one of
is
those
also
water people.
Chaos is a Chow, not necessarily one of the water people.
But then the water people become the Chow.
No. See, it's different. I think Chow are basically like the baby, not the actual original Chaos people. They are creatures that are born whenever the emeralds are in an area for a long enough period of time.
Maybe that's the Chaos people trying to come back for Revolution.
Well, it's not necessarily them trying to come back. It's probably just emeralds.
Yeah, just natural evolution. Maybe that's something. Maybe it's something that happens with the emeralds.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's probably just the emeralds doing what they do. They probably created the Chow, and much like the Chow, the ancient Chaos people were probably very similar in their very early stages of existence. That's just my idea. Like, the Emeralds come to Earth, and the process that created the Chaos people starts again with the Chow. But Chaos himself is a mutated Chow, so it's probably just like early evolution or something. I don't know. But that would mean that all the Chaos people can turn into giant water creatures.
I want to see them all become chaos or perfect chaos and fight the moon. That'd be fun.
Imagine if, like, one of these flashbacks we saw them like 3 of them band together turning into a perfect chaos and freaking like firing lasers up at the freaking sky. That would have been cool.
You know, would be a cool since they were trying to do a lot of references with the writing in this.
Yeah.
I feel like if Ian Flynn was the full writer for this, part of the fight against the final boss would have involved the Ark, Ark space colony, or space colony Ark. That
would have been cool.
I can't speak. And you just shoot it down with that.
That sounds like something that would be in the comics.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're probably right. Whee!
That's a cool angle.
Yep.
This game can look great in cinematic when it needs to, but the cutscenes just don't do that.
Until you get close and you see all the vegetation pop into existence.
I love Nier Automata, and Nier Automata has that to the highest degree, so I'll forgive it here. Though the water definitely looks a lot nicer here than in Automata.
Yeah, they made some nice water.
Reflections.
They made some nice water technology with this, and it's.
I wonder if they were going to bring Perfect Chaos back with that water. Now would have been a perfect time to do it.
I doubt it, because Sonic Forces maybe lose hope that they'll ever use Chaos in an interesting way ever again. So I know Ian's writing the games now, but I don't know.
Who knows?
I feel like Ian's just going to be like.
Hopeful.
Ian's just gonna one of these games be like, oh, Tikal's back, guys. Look at that. It's Tikal.
Maybe Shadow will get saved. And will be a good character again.
Have you seen okay, well, I don't think you have, because you've been out of the loop lately with the Sonic news. But
well, we got a new game and I don't want spoilers.
Well, yeah, that makes sense. But they have this new campaign called Fast Friends Forever, which I talked about in one of the earlier parts. And they updated the website to have character bios for all the cast. Or not all the cast. It's like Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Amy, Eggman, Cream, Blaze, Silver, Shadow, Rouge, Omega.
Okay.
And
so
it's
Blaze is actually remembered. That's interesting.
Yeah, it's very clear that Ian Flynn wrote those, and most of them I think are fine and inoffensive. But like, for like Shadow, he basically is like, oh yeah, Shadow doesn't actually fucking like human beings or anyone. He only is a hero because Maria told him to. He's keeping the promise to Maria. And he doesn't actually have any appreciation for life itself. That's basically.
I kind of like that. It kind of goes. I don't know. It feels closer to how he was in SA2 without all the BS Shadow added. So I kind of like that.
It feels more like Shadow the Hedgehog.
Then with Shadow and 06 kind of all fit within that. He never really interacts with people much.
You also gotta remember his whole character arc in Shadow the Hedgehog was forgetting the past and just being his own person. But now it's just like, oh, he only does the things he does because Maria.
Well, was that game canon?
Shadow is canon.
Which one, though? And how did he get to that point? I feel like that could very much affect his thoughts on humans.
It doesn't really matter, because like all we know is that the ending to that game is canon.
How do we know that?
Because
when is that ever referenced outside of 06, which isn't canon?
06 is canon. Because even Shadow doesn't really have an arc in 06. So we know that before 06 he just decides to be a gun agent.
Right, which I'm only going to assume is the good ending happened. But after '06, we don't really see anything of Shadow, so we don't know if he's still gun and helping humans. Because the only big time he appears after that is Forces, where he's just kind of doing his own thing with animals, with the animal creatures.
I believe I have come to understand you. Both of us will do anything to protect those who are precious to us.
No, it's the only thing we know is canon of Shadow the Hedgehog is the ending, because they had to fucking stop the Black Comet.
Hero.
If they didn't, everyone would be fucking dead.
When is the Black Comet established to have going to kill everybody? Just saying, he could have stopped it in some other manner in like one of the good endings.
The Fire in the Sky Festival is literally the aliens coming to eat everyone. That's what the Black Comet is doing. It's basically a big ol' tree of might kind of vibe. It roots itself into the freaking city, and it's gonna harvest humanity, basically.
Nah. I'm gonna have hope for Shadow.
Okay, but what I'm arguing is that the Fast Friends Forever thing is more like his character in Shadow, which is just like, I fucking hate everything and everyone. And he it even says he's not actually friends with like Omega or Rouge or anything. And those are in like games like 06 and stuff, and like Heroes, it's kind of like implied that these are like the only people Shadow has any respect for outside of like Sonic. And and in Shadow the Hedgehog, it's sort of, they have, or not Shadow the Hedgehog, 06, they have that one emotional scene with like Shadow learning that Omega was the one in the future to like put Shadow on ice, or like
yeah, but
take
06
him
isn't
down.
canon.
06 is canon.
Dude, it writes itself out of existence. I don't know what you're talking about. None of the interactions in that matter and mean a thing to me.
It writes itself
Because
out
they
of
just
existence.
didn't fucking happen.
It writes itself out of existence, but it still happened enough to be a part of Generations.
Yeah, but they don't make any comment about remembering it.
That's because Generations story is shit.
Yeah. So therefore, they still don't remember it. Doesn't matter whether it's a shit story.
Silver still exists. How about that? The only way Silver exists is if that bad future existed at some point. And we saw with Silver's story, it is kind of like a Dragon Ball situation where it's like a different timeline sort of thing. Though they wiped Solaris from time and space.
Does that mean his best friend still turned into Sparkles?
Probably. But Blaze is still here, so probably fucking not.
You said, wait, when was she last in a game? Outside of, like, Generations.
I mean, Generations is canon. And she's also in the IDW comics, which are now canon.
Oh, they are canon?
Yeah.
Oh,
Ian
right,
Flynn
cool.
basically said they are considered canon until the games require there to be some kind of continuity issue.
I like that. Anyways, back to what we were talking about on Shadow. It almost I wonder if they're trying to plan out something like Tails, like what they did with Tails here, where they're just kind of doing a reset on his character, redo the arc, and then set it up better for the future.
Well, they better do that frickin' soon.
Yeah.
Because
Superstars DLC 1 Shadow.
Because I really liked the whole... Because, yeah, the events of 06 did get wiped out from existence. But, the events of that game did prove that Shadow does have some kind of an emotional connection with his team. Which, by the way, they're not even considering Team Dark as their actual name anymore. It's just like they just kind of travel together. They're not like a team, which is kind of lame.
I consider their emotional connection and weight due to Solaris existing. He does not exist, so therefore there's no connection.
Okay, whatever.
I'm not letting this go.
Either way, the that's like also, yeah, if the events of 06 truly did not happen, then why would Silver keep coming to the past? He could still exist in some fucking timeline, I guess, but why would he keep coming to the past?
Did he say why he came back for Forces? Didn't he say the future was going bad again?
Well, they did in a non-canon prequel comic. They were yeah, and that's also weird because it's like, oh, the future just changes around Silver for some reason, and they didn't even say like, oh, he uses the Chaos Emeralds to come back in time. They were like, with the new
it's because he's Shadow and Amy's child.
It's
so he
not
has that
Dragon
connection
Ball.
to Chaos.
It's not Dragon Ball, and it's also...
He has that connection to the Chaos Emeralds, which gives him access to time, because I'm still considering the Chaos Emeralds linked to time.
Silver is also hundreds of years
into the future. This is all part of a Grandmaster plan to be able to go back in time to bring back the Chaos people.
Oh yeah, Sonic does make a joke about that in the game. In this game.
Was he actually?
He's like, I know a time traveler, you know. We could go back in time and fix these things.
Oh, that would be so bad, but I would love it.
It would be so bad because it would erase this game from existence. And, you know,
I just meant they wouldn't be able to write it well.
They wouldn't be able to write it well, and I also don't think Sonic would do that. But, I don't know.
I don't know. He did erase an entire game from existence, so...
Well, that was out of the necessity. That was like, if he didn't do that, then the entire time-space continuum would cease to exist.
No, I think he just really did not want to go up to Elise and tell her no homo. Or, I'm homo. No. I'm sorry. Shit. Fuck. I fucked that up.
Yes, you did. I didn't expect a heated debate this part, by the way.
You see, I'm very passionate about Shadow.
I think it's still just a fact that Ian Flynn is, like, still under Sega's lock and key with Shadow and all the other characters. Because, like...
Yeah, because Shadow, at least in the part I read in the comics, kind of sucked.
The descriptions they gave for most of the cast was fine. It was just Shadow, Omega, and Silver that I was kind of like, wow, this is kind of lame. You know?
What's like, Omega's lore?
Omega, I disliked it for much the same reason I disliked the Shadow thing, is because he's now an emotionless war machine who cares of no one and only works with Shadow because Shadow is strong and also hates Eggman. So
I think that kind of applies to Heroes, but
it kind of does. But I still don't like it that it's
again.
Only that.
You know I ignore 06, so don't bring that shit in here.
Those things still happened, even though they were wiped from existence.
Yeah, so we can't apply it to these current characters. We can't go on knowing that they still act like that. Because we can't know what all Solaris not existing changed.
Yeah.
Other than the one thing it didn't change was Sonic, that we know of, is that Sonic still shows up in Soliana to have a look at the fireworks festival.
I think Ian Flynn at one point, I don't know if it's current or it was probably a while ago, he kind of implied that Sonic might remember the events of 06. Which if he does, that's kind of fucking whack. Elise was also...
I'll only accept 06 as canon if I see Mephiles return one day.
Elise also subconsciously probably remembers it because of the ending to that game being like, I don't know what that feeling was, but it felt familiar, and it was literally just Sonic running by, creating a gust of wind. So the only way she would have felt that before is if the events of 06 happened. So.
What happened to him?
And Sonic's dead.
Yep. Again.
Remember that stuff we were doing for the entire game to bring these guys back? Time for that to not matter.
Speaking of 06.
Oh, God.
Also, yeah, this is probably the point in which Update 3 is just going to start altering things. That's what I predict.
I don't think so.
This scene's going to play, and then you're going to have 3 cyberspace
I think
stages.
it's going to be a return to... I think it's going to be a return to the islands. I doubt they're going to rewrite the whole ass ending.
It's not returning to islands because the friends in the trailer are still cyber ghosts.
Yeah, they could have gone back into cyberspace to become ghosts.
So
With a greater control.
theoretically,
And maybe that's where all their gameplay takes place, while Sonic maybe gets another island or something.
Theoretically, that means Update 3 takes place before Rhea Island, if they're still cyber ghosts.
Why can't they just go back in there and then become cyber ghost again? It's not like they destroyed cyberspace or anything. You can still go back in there. Everything to prove this is linked. I view it more as them returning.
They got trapped in cyberspace because Sage put them there. Sage was like...
So maybe she put him back in there to deal with a threat within cyberspace. Maybe it's going between
Sonic
both. Maybe that's why
Sonic can freely go between both.
Yeah, and he needs help. Why does he have to do it alone, man? Why are you denying Sonic's friends, huh? You part of that Sonic's shitty friends debate?
If Tails, Amy, and Knuckles have to be in cyberspace, why isn't Sonic also in cyberspace?
Because he's on the outside as Super Sonic. Duh. And apparently he has blue eyes or something, so maybe that means he can go between both freely as Super Sonic.
Either way, we're probably just going to be playing as these characters in cyberspace stages.
Oh, I agree.
And it's going to be lame as fuck.
Probably, but we're going to be happy for it. Also, LOL started playing I'm Here.
Actually, they go back into cyberspace just right there. So yeah, my theory is still probably right. This is the point where they're going to start changing the game with Update 3.
I doubt it. I doubt it.
They're just updating the ending.
Your predictions go wrong a lot. I remember when you said Sonic Origins didn't exist anymore.
What are you talking about? I was, like, fully in agreement with Zippo.
Meh.
For the entire time.
Alright, hang on. Favorite cutscene?
I hereby... you're a volunteer. I don't fucking know the line. There you go.
Yay. He's a tsundere! Yay!
Ego man.
Better than Baldy McNosehair. So much better than Baldy McNosehair.
I don't know.
Like that one.
I don't know, man. Baldy McNosehair, of course.
No, that line is stupid.
What if Sonic here was just like, you know, while I'm part of this empire, I'm gonna make some changes around here. We're changing up the brand to Baldy McNosehair Empire. That's too funny.
The music here is also really good.
Yeah.
It starts off a bit more energetic than the other ones. So it has a different kind of growth to it as you get the emeralds.
And now we're on Kronos 3. Kronos Act 3.
Yeah.
Which is just the third part of the same island that exists. Which, even in the freaking lore of this game, it is just one island. Because Eggman
but it's still called a different island.
Yeah, I know. That's just gameplay story segregation, probably because Sonic Team had their ideas for how to extend the game, and we're sticking to that really hard.
Okay, these guys by the end of the game are super annoying to fight.
You can just walk into their attacks and use the counter. That's how I mostly fight them.
I just ignored them by this point. and
Yeah.
almost every optional encounter.
Well, I don't
Just
know.
taking out like a couple mini bosses every now and then for gears.
I don't really know why I'm fighting these guys. I have the
You've been
full-
doing it the whole time, and look at that, you got a gear. So
Yeah.
at least it was worth it.
I mean, I don't know. If I'm not doing I think this game is incredibly boring if you just run straight from objective to objective. So I do combat just to spice things up, but it's still not even that much. I really hope these dumbass fucking like shitty toddler puzzles are gone in the next game.
Or at least replace with like a small platforming section. I think this is where they should have been.
No, I don't like most of the puzzles. They're just filler. They were just like, we don't know what to give Sonic to do in these islands, so let's just put a bunch of the most basic puzzles we can think of everywhere. Yeah. I'm being more cynical today, but that's just because I'm tired. So,
Yeah.
like,
Imagine if it was all the bullet hell sections.
then I would probably not like this game at all, to be honest.
Sonic Automata would be real.
I need portal gears. Give it to me. Ow, bitch.
Finally lost your rings. You've been trying to avoid that the entire time, but you finally lost them.
Yeah. I must have let go of the parry button like the last second or something. Yeah. Man, yeah.
We need some overhauls to the combat.
Yeah.
But there's still starting potential here.
I think what would have really just gone a long way for this game is if they just had a light and a heavy button. Like,
yeah. So what you're saying is Unleashed did it right.
yes. Have a light and a heavy button, and then just have a bunch of different button combinations. It's like every other like brawler. That would have helped this game.
Almost
so
like
much.
Nier Automata. Huh.
Oh yeah. You know what? Delete Sonic and just make more Nier games.
I would very much be okay with that.
Yeah, who needs
Apparently,
Sonic games?
one of the presidents of the president of Sega during the development of the Mega Drive games, after he left, was one of the founders for Capia.
That's awesome.
So he was probably is the one who signed off the production of Dragon Guard 1, and that makes me happy. Probably not. I think he was gone by the time Nier came out.
I think I fish a lot here. Oh yeah, no, I just cut it out this time. Look at how many tokens I have. I'm just buying 6 memory tokens. Yep, that's just what it's like when you get to this point of the game, guys. At this point, you're like, I've done this song and dance 3 times now, and it's pretty much the same.
I never did this. I spent a lot of time on this island grinding out memory tokens.
I did my first playthrough, but this is my second playthrough. I'm bored with this game.
And I was so sad. I actually missed one by the end of the game. And I was so sad.
I mean, you can go back. The coins are still going down.
I was going to, and then found out that apparently I was only saved on the autosave. So that save file was then gone.
Oh, well, that fucking... Oh, yeah. That happens.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I think
I was
you doing what you did and just not playing this game more than once was probably a great idea. Because
I'm trying to go through and play it again so I can get ready for
Yeah.
update 3, but yeah.
whenever the next 3D Sonic game comes out, I think whoever does that should do like their first playthrough.
It depends on how it plays.
Yeah.
Because it's like, if I did that for something like the adventure games or Unleashed or Gens, I'd be pissed. Because then I'd be
Yeah.
stuck watching all the shitty runs of a level I did.
Yeah, but like, it's okay if it's a new game. Like I play this game.
Goodness.
I play this game a lot better now than I do in this playthrough. You know, because I did the stupid thing and just continually played this game until I got actually physically tired of it.
Yeah. See, that's what happens to me every time I try to replay it. I was replaying it and I thought, man, I'd rather play Unleashed. And then I played Unleashed.
We can
tried mastering drifting, and that was actually more annoying than this game.
We can sing this game's praises as much as we want to. We cannot deny how unreplayable it is, and I think that's really why they're doing the updates. It's so that they can add some more, I don't know, substance.
Yeah, but like for once, that kind of works in the game's favor because it is around a 15 to 20 hour game.
Yeah.
Unlike Unleashed, you feel like you did everything you wanted to in that playthrough.
Yeah.
So this is almost easier to replay than the Unleashed story, I think.
The Unleashed campaign is very dull to play through. From start to finish.
It's just not fun to play without all your upgrades and completed characters.
Yeah. But once you do get... See, that's the thing, though. With all the other Sonic games have, like, a really short... What the fuck? The camera was stuck in the freaking thing. But...
It took you a very long time to punch that. Why were you trying to silence it?
I don't know why. But anyways, all the other Sonic games have pretty short runtimes, but I end up spending more time playing them than I did this game. Because they have just, like, infinite replay value. And that's, like... For me, replay value is a really important thing for a Sonic game. I think this game would have had that if cyberspace was not as bad as it is.
Yeah, if you want me to replay something that isn't just the action stages that can be beaten in 3 minutes, give us something a bit more closer to the hubs of Unleashed and Adventure.
Yeah.
Because those are still so much fun to run around in.
Yeah, I wanted to bring this part. But Sage has been going on. By the time this part gets up, it'll be like a week and a few days that it started. There's a fan game in there called Sonic Horizons. It got a demo. And it's basically... I played it before it got updated, so it was very jank. But he's made an update and made it a little better to play since then. But it's basically like... The concepts and the gameplay and everything are basically what I was hoping this game was. It's like it fully uses like momentum physics, which is kind of an obvious for a Sonic fan game. But
real quick, it's Skyscraper Scamper. Sorry, good tuning.
This is an original cyberspace stage.
I know, but for whatever reason, so much of this reminds me of Skyscraper Scamper.
Yeah,
and,
everyone thought
Speed
it was.
Highway.
Everyone thought it was those
especially
stages.
the intro because you start in that tunnel.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite cyberspace stages, just purely for the design of it. There's so many paths; they go all over.
I just want to say I completely forgot that the Sonic Amateur Games Expo was even a thing. And when you said Sage, I thought you were talking about the character.
Oh.
I was so confused.
No. But yeah, with Sonic Horizons, it's the same basic concept as Frontiers because it's very inspired by that, right? So you have like the open world and then cyberspace stages.
Right.
This one takes place on Planet Wisps, or something that looks like Planet Wisp at least. So the environments are more Sonic-y already, and because it's using like momentum and slope physics, there's a lot of half pipes, loop-de-loops, and stuff like that in the open zone. There's no like just random shit floating in the sky ever, and it feels so much better. And then the cyberspace stages feel like fully fledged 3D Sonic stages. Well, there's 2D and 3D ones, but like they feel like full-fledged stages where most of these cyberspace stages don't.
Right.
And, getting the S rank is more about just getting the time down.
How long has this game been in development for? What the fuck?
Sonic Horizons has been in development by one person, I think, since Frontiers came out. So
Jesus Christ.
it is just a demo. You only get like the opening area, basically, like how this game has the tutorial area where you get 2 cyberspace stages and like some open world stuff to do. It's basically that. It's actually bigger than that though, by quite a bit. Especially when you consider the cyberspace stages are just way more involved, and they actually have like the map challenges in there are basically like start at this like checkpoint and get to this place as fast as you possibly can, and it's like really tough to do some of those. So it's pretty much exactly what I want out of a Frontiers 2. It's what I was hoping for with Frontiers 1. But, you know, I recommend playing it, especially after the update, which made it a whole lot better to play. Though it's still in early development, so it's not like the craziest thing ever, you know. But I found the basic moving around and running and spin dashing and stuff like just way more fun than this game.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that's not too hard to do.
It isn't, and to all the people that get really defensive online when someone is like, "Oh wow, this one person made a fan game that plays better than any of Sonic Team's games," you get like they defend Sonic Team in those situations, which is fine. You know, defend Sonic Team all you want. But you gotta realize that if one person can do it, then a team of people with lots of money should be able to do it as well. So, I don't know. I think Sonic Team at this point just doesn't really have too many ideas for Sonic outside of like, oh, let's do some open world gameplay because everyone else is doing that and stuff like that, you know?
Yeah. I don't know. It's something we can explore in a potential future video idea I don't want to spoil.
Yeah. But, anyways.
I never fought this guy.
This guy is actually quite hard. I died to him a lot on my first playthrough. I've since mastered him, but it's really like, it's similar to the tower guy from Ares Island, like the big freaking rail grinding one. You really should beat him in the first phase, because if you let him get to the second one, it gets so much harder.
Okay, I'm glad you hate those two. So, early on, those blue flags usually have, like, treasure, and give you a lot of memory tokens, or portal gears, or Chaos Emerald, vault keys. Very helpful for skipping a lot of the content, but in these later islands, like, 90% of them are just hidden
dashpad
obstacles that take you on a path to get an item that you probably would have gotten anyways without that hidden path.
Yep.
So then most of them aren't even useful. And I hate it. It made this island in particular so much harder to get grinding for because I wasn't using the fishing like I should have.
Yeah. And I don't know. Like, I completely forgot what I was going to say.
It's an emerald.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that is one thing. And on this island, because it's kind of like very clearly a last-minute addition to the game, or it's like got a lot of last-minute changes at least. There's no like cool events that happen when you get certain amounts of Chaos Emeralds like the other islands have.
Yeah, it's just kind of run to the end, which I like. I just wish it was a bit shorter if that's what they were going for.
We talked about it in one of the previous parts. I really kind of wish the general structure of this game was more like a 3D sandbox Mario game for just collect-a-thon elements. Because this game really is just like, here's a ton of trinkets. And they infinitely respawn as well, so there's not even like any pressure. It just takes a long time. This is a very grindy collect-a-thon, you know. Not necessarily bad. It just could be so much better. And I think like a change up to the structure to make it more in line with other sandbox platformers would be pretty nice. Like, more in line with it, but not exactly just Mario 64.
Yeah, I do like it as a correction for Sonic Unleashed, but I still think it just needs a little bit more to feel perfect for a progression system.
Yeah.
For Sonic, because this is nowhere near as obnoxious as any of the medals in Unleashed, but some of the later areas still just have a bit too much collectibles that you need to get. But having them respawn and not making them, not having a limited amount in the game and making them easy to get is a pretty good way to go, I think.
It's a pretty good way to go. I think it might be too much of an overcorrection.
Too much?
Yeah, too...
I saw you missed that. I was like, oh, it's gonna go back. You did.
Well, I got really... The balloons in this game feel really good to homing attack because it's like instant.
Yeah, they feel a bit different from enemies because enemies have to wait.
Yeah, Sonic has to do a freaking backflip every time he kills one.
Yeah, it's a nice way to make them distinct since they don't carry your acceleration as much as they did in Unleashed in Generations.
Yeah.
Where you would just go flying every time you hit those things in those games.
I really kind of would like a Sonic game to experiment with a homing attack that does that, though, for, like, everything. I think some levels...
So you mean Sonic GT?
Sonic GT is kind of like that, but way too overpowered. I meant more like the balloons in this game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, you
just gotta be really careful, because I think that's one thing fan games always get wrong, is how much you can fly over things, which is... It's fine for those, but I'm like... There's a reason you'll never see this in a Sonic game.
Yeah,
or
but...
in a Sonic Team developed game, because you just skip everything in the game.
You say that, but you can do that stuff even though it's not in this game, even though it's not, like, momentum-based, you know?
Yeah, but it's hard to do, and I like that a bit more.
It's not really. It's just, like, jumping on a rail or... just running off a platform in a very specific way, or I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you could use the glitches that they left in the game, and now that they added the spin dash with update 2, yeah, you can just fly over everything with ease.
I guess it's fitting we recorded a Sonic part during this time, because I think my copy of Scrapnik Island just got delivered.
Oh, hell yeah.
So I just saw the Amazon guy walking by. I'm like, oh, what the shit? Oh, fuck yeah, I'm reading that later.
I need to...
I've been holding off on it because I've been waiting for the collected deluxe edition.
Yeah.
And I know everyone's saying it was good.
I was waiting for that edition too. Unfortunately, I've missed it, and it's like sold out everywhere I've looked.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess I just managed to get it then.
Well, it was because...
I had to cancel my pre-order.
It was because, so my credit card got hacked recently. I don't know if I told you.
Right.
I could not...
Yep.
I physically couldn't buy it when it came out, so... yeah, and then, like...
Oh, you buy everything on a credit card?
Yeah.
Uh...
Because, like, I don't trust a lot of the payment websites and stuff.
Yeah, that's probably fair.
Yeah, because, like, I've had a couple of burns with PayPal, my PayPal information leaking or getting hacked or whatever. I haven't had that happen with Venmo yet, but I mainly use Venmo for, like, sharing stuff with friends. Like, if, you know. Like,
okay, these challenges are fucking difficult.
Yeah, but these are the most fun ones for me, just because they're more interesting than just walk on these tiles over and over.
That is true. But like when they're at this specific angle, they're so hard to hit.
Yeah, you just have to go at a really high jump, like I'm doing. Not too high though.
You were saying.
It's not that bad. I got it. That's like the hardest one in the whole game. The other ones usually only have like 3 that you have to get. But yeah. I love I know I had gone on some amount of length of talking about how I wish this game wasn't just hyper realistic, but I gotta be honest, I do love some of the aesthetics that this game has in the open world. Like, I don't know, like, It sort of gives me like Dreamcast era Sonic game vibes. If that makes sense. Because it's like it's very much an experiment from what they've been doing before this game. And it's kind of the same sort of vibe with when they went to Sonic Adventure and they decided to go like more anime realistic sort of look for everything. I don't know. I'm rambling.
I don't think I ever faced this boss. I like this though.
Dude, the theme
This
song
actually feels like this looks like a good Sonic boss.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Ghost is freaking cool. I love the song as well, the Ghost theme. It's so good.
Why is a mini boss in this game actually good? What? There's even platforming challenges. What?
Yeah, and you're
Why
not
did
even
I miss this?
You're not. It's because you have to activate it by walking up to one of these towers.
I'm surprised I didn't see one before.
But listen to the song.
It is good.
Oh,
Where the hell does this come from?
it's. I can't believe you never fought Ghost. He's so cool.
No, I told you I did everything I could to avoid combat by this point.
Yeah, but like it was just this cool-looking tower in the middle of a field. You didn't walk up to it at all.
I must have missed a tower. Remember, I missed a memory token.
Well,
here.
we'll see another
Or
one.
not a memory token, but an event.
We will see another Ghost. I think probably in the next part. But I'll point it out when we get to the tower. It's kind of like I didn't miss it when I was like running around. It was just kind of very obviously they're on my path, I guess. Especially this
I
one.
just must not have gone near it.
You probably ran past it, not even thinking anything of it, to be honest. Because it does kind of just look like more ruins. Oh god, this one.
Yeah. Yeah, this one can be hard.
It's not that bad because you can just stomp, bounce, double jump. Oh, I'm going too high. Did you see? I went too high, so it stopped it.
That's funny.
Oh my god.
How you can't even do it.
Yeah, just double jump on this. Yeah. I haven't, since this playthrough, I have not fully played through the game again.
That's probably good.
The closest I got was getting like halfway through an extreme mode playthrough and then being like, this is kind of ass. So.
Yeah. Just gotta wait for update 3, which I think is this month.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the 28th. So we still got a little while, but it's coming.
Okay.
There's so many dash pads.
I will say, I think this has some of the best environments for the ancient ruins in it compared to the rest of the islands.
Mm-hmm. I think that's for like the Kronos Island aesthetic in general, because that's like the aesthetic they chose to market this game with, pretty much. So.
Mm-hmm. And this looks a lot better than the base Kronos Island.
Yeah.
A lot more interesting. There's more of it. There's obstacles on them.
If you take the time to explore around on Rhea Island, I think that's the most interesting the open world design actually gets, personally. Because there's...
Yeah, it's just unfortunate that there's nothing to do there.
Well,
no collectibles, just nothing.
With the first update, they added the jukebox, and there are now like 7 music notes to go and collect on that island. So, and they actually take you to the coolest like set pieces on the island. So
okay,
yeah.
How many music or songs do they got in that game?
Oh, I don't know. It's like you start off with like 10. I think you
I know that.
You collect like 40 by the end.
I've collected a few, but they've just been more movements of the island music. So I didn't know if they added like more actual.
Oh, that's because Update 2 added those movements as even more music notes.
Oh, so it's even more.
Yeah, because they added that because once you get the movements, once you progress through the game, you lose the ability to hear those. So they added those in Update 2 so you could listen to your favorite.
That's good, because I
movements.
remember when Update 1 came out, and some other time it was like, hey, you can now listen to other music, but you'll still listen to my original music for this game, right?
I was like, we'll try, but we can't really.
About to say, once I reach Ares Island, Let the Speed Mendit's not coming off.
Not even Shamar.
Oh, Shamar's in there? Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, I'll get that one in too then.
Shamar is what I use because that's such a fast-paced, high-energy track.
It is. It's great.
And it's perfect for running around on Ares. I can't lie. Oh yeah, we were talking about Chaos Emerald lore. You know what? I probably shouldn't talk about this. It's a thing with superstars. It wasn't.
Is it like the abilities that Chaos Emeralds give you?
No. It's like, I mean, that is a thing. That's probably not as interesting to talk about in terms of like a story perspective, because they are just kind of like lame powers. But but there is, so like when you start off the game, you get a specific cutscene depending on what character you're playing as. And I'll just say the one for Knuckles is pretty interesting. But I can't. I shouldn't talk about it.
Okay.
It's cause
yeah.
I only saw it
We can
because
wait.
there was Gamescom recently and people got to play the game and post their footage, so I saw that cutscene.
I forgot Gamescom happened, so I
Yeah.
ignored it all.
It's not like a crazy thing, surface level, because like it's basically just, oh, Knuckles sees Eggman flying in a direction and follows him. That's like the substance of the cutscene, but it's really the setting of the cutscene that's interesting. But yeah, I really wanted
Something
to talk.
Angel Island.
I wanted to talk about it because we were talking about Emerald lore and like stuff like that. And
Well, if you want to, we can talk about it after this.
yeah.
No need to spoil superstars in this game.
Well, I didn't want to spoil it for you specifically because you're actively trying to not get spoiled for that game.
A little thing like that I think should be fine.
Okay.
Something to hype myself up for.
Okay.
Because I have like no hype for that game right now.
I
I don't mean that as a bad thing. It's just I'm trying to avoid it.
Yeah, I'm incredibly
So
excited.
I can just
for it.
release and I can just play it in the same way I did with Mania. Where I had no expectations going in.
Yeah.
I could just play it and have fun.
I'm incredibly excited for it because I've only watched mostly what's been officially released. The thing that I was talking about earlier with the cutscene, I saw in a thumbnail on YouTube. but
so you didn't actually watch the cutscene?
no. But well, I mean, once I saw like you know how YouTube mobile now has like a GIF of like the video playing.
Yeah,
If
it's
you
fucking
hover over it.
stupid, and you can't turn it off.
Yeah.
And I hate it.
So I basically saw the cutscene through that. But yeah. Yeah, we'll save that for Superstars, I guess, when we get there. I've just been excited for that game. I've been mostly just watching what they officially show, though.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited because I at least get to record it. That's
Oh yeah,
be fun.
it'll be fun.
I want more Sonic games to record right now. I don't want to go through my entire backlog and have them sitting there on a hard drive for 4 years
Yeah.
before we get to them.
You know, I'm realizing we haven't done like anything interesting in a while in this game. We've just been doing,
It's just been more island stuff.
yeah, which is like, I mean, this is what the game is, you know, in its purest form. Like, yeah, there's cyberspace, yeah, there's combat, but it's really just running around fields collecting trinkets. That's like the main gameplay of the game. And that's why, you know, we say we like the game, but we really want it improved because it can be very much improved if they really take the feedback to heart, and if they, you know, have a sit down with themselves and just like think about what would be fun, rather than like them just being like, oh, here's an idea that we have, let's do it. Which I feel like has been Sonic Team's MO for a very long time.
Yeah. They need more things to do with XP in this game, or just take it out. Because, like, I don't want so much XP to the point of where I'd have to grind for months on end just to level up my Werehog, but, like, more than what we got here.
Yeah, I would...
At least you can unlock everything by the end of the game, but you also unlock everything before you get to Chaos Island.
Yeah.
And then you're just stuck with nothing. There's no use for it.
If you got the deluxe edition of this game, you can very easily unlock all the skills before you even leave Kronos. So, yeah. But, yeah, I would prefer, like, something more like Sonic Adventure, where you, like, I don't know, find the abilities in a field, or maybe there's, like, a shop, like Sonic 06. To buy abilities. I don't know. I literally just let go of the parry button.
These bosses could be interesting, but I don't know.
This guy is fun to fight.
Just a bit more work needs put into it, I think.
This guy's fun to fight. I think some of the best Guardian fights are just these ninja fights. Because they get, like, pretty interesting. He fucking killed me. Look at that.
Yeah. I almost just wish a lot of these weren't even mini-bosses and would just appear as, like, a full boss fight. I think it would be a lot more fun sometimes.
Yeah. I don't know. Having like, we talked about it last time, but for the next game it'd be really cool to have, like, those cinematic-ass Titan bosses, but instead of Titans, they're, like, more this size compared to Sonic, or more Sonic size, and base Sonic is taking care of them rather than Super Sonic. I don't know. I think that kind of thing would be really cool for a Sonic game.
Yeah.
Because we don't get to see base Sonic do a lot of cool stuff anymore. It's really like the last really fucking cool thing we saw, other than, like, trailers and stuff, because this game had some dope-ass trailers with the CG. But, like, Sonic Unleashed's opening was, like, really the last time we see Sonic himself doing cool stuff. I don't know.
Somewhat Generations. But that's more in-level.
Well, yeah, I'm more so talking, like, cinematics, you know?
Mm-hmm. Sonic hasn't been cinematic since Secret Rings.
Well, that's not true. Like, literally the entire crux of Sonic's gameplay since Adventure 2 has been spectacle cinema.
Yeah.
Because we can't have good gameplay. We can only have automation.
That can be fun to an extent, which is why I think it works better on Unleashed.
It works
where
best.
A lot of it, the challenge is timed to more quick time button presses, where you have to carefully monitor everything, so you make sure you can keep that spectacle going.
Unleashed,
which I like a lot.
Unleashed and Gens feel more so like Sonic Adventure 2, but, like, turned up to 11 in a lot of ways.
Yeah,
like,
and it's perfect.
Like, the ranking system, like, yeah, in Gens it's easy, but you still have the, like, basically infinitely high skill ceiling, and you can just continually get better and better times and master the stages. And you can do that in Unleashed, and you can do that in SA2, and they're still spectacle based. So, you know, I just want that to return so badly.
Let's get chased by a whale again.
Please let me get eaten by the whale and then turn supersonic and do a QTE to get out.
That'd be kind of sick. Imagine if that snake enforces, you could just break out with the emeralds.
It'd be so cool if in Forces if you had the emerald, Sonic would automatically turn super for those cutscenes and just skip them.
Yeah, that'd be good.
That would be, but too bad Forces is not a good game.
Oh, we're cynical.
I'm probably a little more cynical, but it's fine.